What's up, you guys? Welcome to another installment of our Better Story series. We are in Costa Rica. I'm with Kate and Jason Higdon. Say what's up.
What's up?
They don't have any clue what we're doing because we haven't actually published any of these Better Stories yet. We're just filming them. So we are having a lot of fun. We've been here for, I guess, a couple, 3-4 days, masterminding with teammates, huddling up. And we just wanted to roll tape. We have another dozen teammates that are having breakfast. You can pan the area if you want a little bit. I have naked kids over there. Hopefully they got towels on. And the sun just came up. We're getting ready to go snorkel a waterfall, and I don't know what we're going to do. It's going to be super fun. I wanted to take a little bit of time and chat with you guys and kind of hear your stories of how you got started on the product, the business, how it's been going. Just share both your stories because they're a little different on both the product and the business, and then any tips, tricks, things like that for somebody that's just watching the videos and not involved yet, and how they might get started, or an action step, or something that you wish you knew back then that you now know that would have helped you speed the thing up. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. Who should we start with? Jason?
I love it. Sure.
No, you go. I'm just kidding. How'd you get samples? How'd you get introduced? Who told you? And who the hell are you?
I'm Kate Higdon. My husband Jason.
Hi.
We're from Owensboro, Kentucky, and I got started. I saw a friend of mine. I'm a photographer, and she's one of my clients. Her name's Stephanie, and she posted on Facebook that she had found something that made her feel like the mom her kids deserved, because she had the energy to show up for them, and she wasn't just waiting for them to take a nap in the afternoon or giving them an iPad. And
so a Facebook post.
It was a Facebook post.
Like a scroll,
yes.
Bam.
Yeah, and I don't know why that just hit me that day. I mean, now thinking back, it's because, it was about me. It was me in that post. She was talking that her before person was my current person. Lesson in that, right? So I was like, I didn't feel like that mom. I felt like crap. I felt like my kids were just going through life. They were doing all these things, and I was just sitting back on the bleachers watching them because I was so tired. I was watching Real Housewives of every freaking city. I was reading books. I mean, just trash. My brain was trash because I was tired. So I reached out and I'm like, I said, what are you peddling? Because, I've tried.
Oh, nice positive question.
I know. I hadn't had the good mindset training at the time, and I didn't have ketones in my brain. So I'm like, what are you peddling? And she asked me, what do you know about ketones or ketosis?
Good
and I was like, yeah, it's familiar, right? And I was like, nothing, because this was in 2016. Oof. So it was a long time ago. There wasn't keto stuff in the grocery store or on magazines or anything. And I started with a 5-serving trial pack. She got me a trial pack. Yep. It was orange and chocolate. That's all we had at the time. And they weren't exactly the best, compared to now.
At the time they were. Today?
At the time they were wow, they were amazing. So I started, and I didn't think it would work. But day 3, I woke up and my pattern of life had been broken. It was a pattern break, because my pattern before was hit snooze, 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 afternoon nap, yell at the kids because we're always running late, because I'm exhausted, come home, bra off, pajamas on, sit on the couch, and kids were eating cereal or takeout or frozen food. Jason and I would be bickering, yelling at each other because he was grumpy and grouchy. We called him the bear. And that was our pattern for years, day after day. It was living in Groundhog Day, day after day after day. So on that day 3, when I woke up, and the first thing that broke the pattern is I didn't hit the snooze button. I just got out of bed, and I was like, that's weird. I didn't take a nap. I came home. It was 8:30 at night, and I still had my bra on. That's a big deal. Ladies that are watching this, that's a big deal. So that's how I got started, but he wouldn't drink it for 3 months because he called it my diet crap. Yeah, he was, no.
Well, you used to get
You can hold the microphone.
I can, yeah.
You're so nice.
Yeah,
You let him hold
she would
his own
try
mic.
everything. She, anything that was potentially help her with any of her issues in her life, she had it. So I wasn't on board with anything like that. I was supportive. I mean, you go, honey, whatever, but just
Drink
leave
your
me out of it.
juice.
But at the same time, like she said, I was a cranky mess. I was overweight. I was tired. I mean, living in my brain was like having a static on the TV in a dim lit room with a baby crying in the corner, and I'm just doing a stack long division. That was how my brain felt all day, every day. And so when you feel like that, any little break, anybody asking you a question is going to just trigger you. Just get out of here. Go figure it out yourself. Go do this. Go to ask your mother. Whatever. So.
Well, question: what was one of the first moments where you realized this was this was real and it really impacted her?
You mean from how it affected me? Well, she actually, I mean, I resisted for quite a while, and then until finally she just shook one up. And if you know her, she's very assertive. She just said, "You're going to drink this," and I said, "I don't want it." You're going to drink it. So that's how she did it. She gave it to me. I downed my first. She gave me an orange
told
dream.
him not
First
to
one.
drink it all
She
like
said,
that.
She said, just sip on it, and I was like, I just slam it down. That's the way I do it. And amazingly, that the way I described my brain before, it was like all of a sudden it was just calm, like this, just like a perfect scene. Everything was vibrant, and I'm like, is this stuff legal that you gave me? I mean, the white powder, what did you put in my drink? And I just felt incredible, and I was so giddy as like a little schoolboy. I was like, I was all excited about how it felt. I mean, it had been a long time since I experienced anything like that. So I'm like, this stuff is real. Give me that pack, because I'm a Google guy. I got to Google every little ingredient in this thing. What's making me feel this good? Of course, it was the Orange Dream, so I did have a lot of time to sit and read. So
In the bathroom.
in the bathroom, yeah. But that was, for me, that was amazing. That experience was just, I don't know what this is, but I'm all in. Just tell me what I need to do.
And who did you say gave it to you?
Stephanie Blanford,
Okay, who got Stephanie started?
Julia Roberts.
Okay,
Not
cool.
that Julia Roberts.
I understand. So what happened next? So you got a 5-day, and I'm going to speed you up.
Yep, got a 5-day. We'll speed forward. That was in October. In December, I went in my closet and there were some old jeans. I'm like, I wonder if I could fit in those. I didn't weigh myself all the time, but I felt pretty comfortable. So I put on some old jeans, and I was like, well, hello. They fit. They were the ones that I probably wore in high school or
Sure.
something, that you don't want to get rid of. And I posted a picture, a before and better picture. No intention of doing anything
Just
with
still
the
a
business.
customer.
Just a customer. It was totally a customer. And I'm like, and I just said, are you all seeing what I'm seeing here? Blew up. People are like,
yeah.
what are you doing? What are you doing? Still didn't think of it as a business. Because I wasn't going to do one of those things. I was like, that's not my thing. I will buy everyone's stuff. I will buy your candles. I will buy your leggings. I will buy your makeup. That's awesome. But I was never going to do one of those things. Even we'd owned our own business for 18 years, but not one of those things. And then life hit us. Life hit. And I needed I needed another option. So it was, or you want me to get into this part? Go for it. Okay. So it was December. Jason still wasn't drinking it at this time.
No, good time. No.
Jason was still not drinking it. He was still a holdout. And it was
He's on strike.
He was on strike. So it was December, and December 12th, my mom was in visiting from Iowa, and we had a knock on the door, and it was the mailman. And that is never a good thing when the mailman has to knock on the when he knocks.
It's certified and it's from
Yes,
the IRS.
exactly. Yeah. So what it was is it was foreclosure papers, because
Perfect.
for 8 years I was very, very sick, and we're self-employed. Our medical insurance sucked. Just all that. We had medical debt. So it was foreclosure papers. My mom's sitting right beside me. I don't know about you all, but you probably wouldn't want your parents being there when you receive foreclosure papers on your house or bankruptcy notice or anything like that. And I felt like the biggest letdown, the biggest failure in her life, because being financially secure is her love language. And here I was showing her, well, I'm a failure. And I didn't even know what to do. It was 10 days before Christmas. I didn't have $5 on a credit card. We were about to lose our house. And my mom totally reacted differently than I thought she would. She said, "But look at you." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "Look at you. I see what you're doing here." She had seen me shaking up these things and drinking them. And she said, she cracks me up. She grabbed me by my chin like this.
Like a mom does.
Like a mom does. And she said, "Listen, little sister," because that's what she calls me. "I know what this is. Your aunt and uncles did one of these in the 80s.
No way.
Swear to you. Swear to God." And she goes, "You're going to start telling people about this. That's going to change their lives. And in turn, that's going to change your life. And I'm behind you." And my mom actually, because I couldn't afford a promoter pack. There were no discounts. There was nothing. Like, I couldn't afford that. So my mom bought my promoter pack, and she said, "Just pay me back as soon as you can." In my mind, I'm hearing 2 weeks because my mom's scary. You like swim with the fishes if you don't pay her back. So I got that. He's still not in. I just borrowed $1,000 from my mom, which was, as a man, that's very embarrassing to have to borrow money from, especially from the in-laws, right? So I didn't say anything. Keeping that all on the down low. And I mean, I got that pack in, and I just started slinging trial packs like crazy. I paid her back within less than 2 weeks, and actually had to turn around and buy another big pack. And then she became a customer, of course, and she's 82. She's been drinking it every day for over 6 years. She swears that's why she can still mow her own yard and shovel her own snow. So, and I just kept going, and I was able to earn that. I only needed $2,000 to pay off the house, get it out of not pay off the house, but pull it out of foreclosure to get her head above water. I needed $2,000, and I was able to do that within way more than that within 30 days.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, when did he start doing it?
Like the business or the drink?
Well, I guess the drink started.
Because the business is funny too.
And then the first month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, like what does the first 6 months look like for you product wise? Just like one sentence.
Yeah. Well,
Kate, then you.
Product wise, I went from a mom that was grumpy, yelled at everybody, just uncomfortable in her skin, and tired all the time, to a mom who wakes up energized, has full control over my thoughts, my emotions, and feels comfortable in her skin again. Happy.
same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Before
When you
that,
finally started,
yeah,
she
when I finally
forced
started,
you to.
we were at a
physically.
convention, and she made me drink it. I just had pancakes and hotel waffles is what I had, and I drank this stuff. And like I said, it was before that. It was just the the brain fog, cranky, and just no energy. I slept when I could. I slept, couldn't sleep at night, but everything just changed. I was sleeping like a baby, dreaming for the first time, and like dreaming physically, at night for the first time in years, getting quality sleep. The brain fog was gone, and I was happy. I mean, I wasn't like gloom and doom. It was just happiness. So,
weight loss, fat loss
the
for
weight
your
loss,
review?
the weight loss was a nice perk. It's
How much?
90 pounds at that point. Yeah.
Look at the damn camera and tell them how much weight you lost for crying out loud.
90 pounds. I mean, I lived in a shell like 280, and it came off.
So I've just never known either of you at that time. How much are you down?
70.
90
Yeah,
and 70,
70.
160 pounds down.
The
And it's funny, we've talked 12 minutes, neither of you even mentioned it.
Well, it's not our favorite. It's
I
not
know,
our favorite benefit.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, that's what, a lot of times people will come here because that's what they think
Yeah.
that they want, and they don't know. You think you want the ocean here, but turns out you actually want the jungle, right?
Yes.
So,
true.
so a couple thoughts. Product-wise, do you have like a quick tip? It might just be get started, or, I don't know. But do you have, either of you have a product tip or something that might encourage somebody that's thinking about starting drinking ketones?
So actually, my product tip and my business tip is pretty similar, but is don't compare your journey to somebody else's. So I hear lots of people like, well, this person lost like 30 pounds in a month. Don't compare your story to someone else. Give yourself time. You can try something for 30 days, which is great. Like, at least get started. But if you really want to commit to something, say, I'm going to do this for at least 90 days, and just really commit, because you owe that to yourself. You deserve it.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah. I just be consistent with the product. I mean, the funniest thing is we'll have people who try it. They buy a box, and then a few months later, like, does anybody want to buy what I have left over? It didn't work for me. I have 19 packs left. Like, you drank one pack,
Right.
and it didn't work for you.
That's true.
So you weren't consistent with it. Yeah. So just drink it. I mean, you got to give it a little time. It's not going to work. For me, it was day one, not for everybody else. It wasn't for her.
Yep. No, you're spot on. Well, so it's now December, it's January, it's February. You got yourself out of, well, no, I guess probably right in December, you got yourself the foreclosure stopped. How do you run? She hit rank 6 in 45 days, you guys. They hit rank 6 in 45 days. What was the first thing you did? Did she connect you with Julia? What was any of the connection stuff? How did you launch your business? Tell your story and give counsel and directive of what they should do if they're starting at the same time.
The best
and do
thing,
it in 3 minutes.
The best thing that Stephanie did was Stephanie knew right away. Stephanie knew right away that my goals were bigger than her goals.
Good
and
call.
so she immediately connected me with Julia. And so then Julia and then Jan, then Ryan and Ethan and Dustin and Michael, like, I just kept getting connected. And the next thing I did is I just went on fire about ketones, and I thought about all the people that I know and love, and I started reaching out to the people that I know and love. Hey, I literally, like, my OBGYN, I sent her a message. Actually, you challenged us one time on a huddle call. Who are the 5 people you're avoiding? And I sent it to her, and she's a friend of mine. I was like, Angie, hey, I don't know if you've seen what's going on with my health journey, but I'd love to share it with you. If I sent you a 4-minute video, would you just watch it and tell me what you think? And she's like, yeah. That was 5 years ago. She's still one of my best customers. Like, she orders over $400 worth of product every month.
If I sent you a 4-minute video, would you watch it? It's how I've completely transformed my health and my wellness. A. B.
Yeah.
If I shook you up a sample of it, would you drink it?
Yeah.
Would you watch this and would you drink this?
Yeah. Yep.
And if they do either, you're good. If they do both, you're money.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third step after when that started was because they connected you to Julia and on to the team.
Yes.
You watched them
Yes.
use a team.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do the whole photography process alone. Do you
No.
shoot and edit?
No. I shoot, he edits.
My mom does little kids soccer leagues photography. She can't shoot and do the ball positioning. The kids are
Right.
6. She doesn't do the t-shirts and the ball. She just does the shooting. She has a girl that helps her do that, right? And then somebody else does the editing, and someone else does the film production, and someone else puts them into the little sleeves.
Yeah.
Same thing, right? You have a
Same
process
thing.
in a
Same
team.
thing. Yeah. So I just started doing Keto Life Party Zooms, which we didn't even do. No one even knew what a Zoom was 6 years ago. But I had friends all over the country, and I was just the people that I knew, the people that I cared about, the people that I loved. And we were doing Keto Life Parties, like 2 or 3 times a week, because I couldn't stop being excited about it.
Cool.
And just that enthusiasm. And I was not the expert. I wasn't like, come to my Keto Life Party and hear me tell you about ketones and my story and how to get started and explain the flavors. I would have Jan there. I would have Julia there. Or I would have Ethan Zoom in to a Keto Life Party. A lot of people, I don't have anybody around me. There's a thing, like, open your laptop, like, show it. And I just, my goals, my dreams, my visions, and plugging into the community. Because once I saw what was possible by being around all of you, I'm like, oh,
You can make a real
this is
business
a real
out of this.
thing. He didn't think it was a real thing. Like, when I earned our Jeep, he was like, that we're not getting that. That's a scam.
Don't do that.
He wouldn't even let me
Won't
get it
last.
at first. Yeah, he's like, this isn't a real thing. This can't be a real thing. And then he started seeing the money come through. He's like, keep doing that. Keep doing that.
Oh, we had every day. We were, here we are in the financial crisis we were in, and we have a brick and mortar studio. I would be in my back office, and then she'd be using the front lobby for all these little Keto Life parties. We had these 2, Ryan and Ethan, these 2 20-year-old punks coming to my studio. They're up there, and I'm like, you're not doing your
With
work.
his wife.
It's like, we've got bills to pay. You're not doing your work. Your job is photography. You've got to get these things. You got to check these pictures. You got to do all this. And I felt abandoned at that point. And then one day she shows me, ooh, I'm actually making an income with this. I'm like, girl, keep going.
Yeah.
Go.
So for fun, so one of the neatest things, we don't have to make income claims to, lure anybody into our business, and these are, for internal purposes. You guys have made almost $1 million doing this in a handful of years.
Yeah.
And lost 150, 60, whatever pounds.
Got our relationship back.
Got
which
your
is the most
relationship
important
back,
thing.
and we're sitting in Costa Rica. I'm going to skip a bunch of stuff. You have a huge team, people all over the place. I actually want to hear from Jason. Kind of share just, I mean, sounds like I didn't know you were that skeptical and closed-minded. I get it. And now you've come all this way. Share just the invite of her going, hey, Michael and Dustin just said they got something for us. Like, I just want you guys to see how, like, I'm skipping literally 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
But think how far they both come, but how far his mentality has come, and then how we ended up here.
Yeah. Well, for me, it was, things were, I don't know, the days seem to be the same for me, and I'm like, I've got to make a change. So I'm going to be more intentional with my mornings. I'm going to get up, I'm going to think to myself what I want, feel how that feels, and then we'll see what happens. And I'm like, what do I really want? I mean, I'm not a stuff guy, but I do want experiences, and I don't want just travel. I want, because I've got a trip planned for next July to go to Ireland, but that's so far away that I think about it a lot, and it's the anxiety of that, just thinking about it. I want to do it now. I want spontaneous travel, so I was more specific about the type of travel I wanted. I want to, on a whim, just pick up and go for a week somewhere, and I'm like, those are the things I was thinking. That day was. I think about it in the morning, and then like mid-afternoon, we get a little ding on the text, and it's Michael and Dustin. What we all got going on next Tuesday, and she's like, "Oh, look at this! They got something cooking." I'm like, "All right,
Got something brewing."
She's like, "Well, how would you like to go to Costa Rica next week?" And I'm like, my initial thought was, no, we can't do that. And I'm like, this is exactly what I just asked for. So who am I to say no? I mean, it's almost like I had a genie in a lamp. I wished for this, here it is, and it's like, tell the genie to get back in the lamp. I want this. So I'm like, yes, that's the answer is yes, and we'll make it happen. I didn't even look at the schedules. I know we had stuff coming up. We had some family commitments. She had some commitments with business, and I said, we'll just figure it out. We'll do it. And we did it. Here we are. I mean, this is what yes did for me right here. Look back there.
Didn't you get a new house?
We did. Yeah, we sold our
forgot.
old
I almost
house.
was like, wait a minute. I thought you got another one.
A new house. I always wanted a pool, like an in-ground pool. I grew up in Iowa. We live in Kentucky. And I was like, in-ground pools, like that was for rich people. Like I wanted an in-ground. I wanted that. Like I just wanted that as a kid. And so like to have a pool, I know to some people that's not a big deal, but that was a really big deal to me. And we've got a really nice home. We're very, very blessed.
I like it. I'm fired up. We could probably do another hour.
Totally.
I know we could. Maybe we'll do some more, and maybe we'll do like an advanced. We're just kind of making this up as we go. Mm-hmm. We'll do maybe an advanced chapter 2 of it, like where we really kind of peel back the onion on some strategy. You had shared, kind of some product tips, just a sentence or two business tip. Now that you know all this, have all this wisdom all these years, a sentence or two business tip. If somebody's watching this, I already know what mine is for them. They just tried it, and they kept leaning forward. They got a 5-day, then they got a box, and then they joined the business, and, mom paid for it, and then they paid mom back, and then they launched her business. They very coachable, just whatever you tell us to do, doing it, people. But any particular tip or trick that you think is a big deal?
There are so many, but I'm gonna come down to one. Trust the system. Don't try to do it all on yourself, because when I was doing the things, I was brought in with the system.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, I got this. I can do it on my own. I don't want to bother them. That's when my business hit its first plateau. Plateaus are normal, but that was my first one. I didn't like it. And it's leaning back into the system. And then eventually you'll get into the got it syndrome again. But trust the system, utilize the company, utilize your team, utilize your leadership. Because I think it was an ego thing for me. And so it was giving up my ego. Yep.
This is easy for me because my thought process, I tried to help her with the business. like I said, I'm a Google guy. I had to read everything. I had to understand ketosis. I had to understand what BHB was. I had to know all the ketones your body could make and all this other stuff. I got into the science. That's how I would lead with, you know, you need to try this. This is ketones. It's BHB. And then I met this guy. I mean, this freaking guy here. It's like his introduction was, here, man, you need to drink this. What's in it? I don't know. It makes you feel good. Drink it. And I'm like, what the hell? That's easy, but like, does that work? I mean, obviously it works, you know? So I had to get out of my mindset. I need to know everything. I don't need to know everything. I don't need to know what BHB even stands for. I don't know. Beta hydroxybutyrate should, you know, be removed from my vocabulary. So that was what caught me. It's like I would get stuck in the science, and I got stuck with all the people with science minds, and they don't buy jack. They don't.
And they don't tell anybody.
They don't tell anybody. They want to know more about it. And if it's that complicated, they think to themselves, if it's that complicated, maybe I shouldn't drink that until I learn more about it myself. So
it's the kiss of death.
Yeah. I mean, but when in reality, I just wanted to drink it to feel what I felt. And this guy had it figured out from day one. And, you know, I was overcomplicating things.
I was just ignorant, so I didn't have a choice. Thankfully, you know, I don't know that I'm a dummy necessarily. I just didn't know anything about any of it. So I didn't have the time. I was too broke and too fat and too tired to become an expert at anything. So it was, that guy's smart. Thankfully, none of us made the product. You know what I mean? The server doesn't have to know how the steak is prepared. They're just bringing you the steak, taking your order and bringing you the steak. The chef better know how the steak is prepared. The bartender better know how the Moscow Mule is prepared. But you're not judging the chef on whether he can make a Moscow Mule because you know those two roles are different. Your role is to be a mouthpiece and a messenger and a shepherder of other people to the good news of ketones. It isn't to make the product. So nobody's expecting you to know everything. You think that your friend is expecting you to know everything, but they're just not. They're not. They don't know anything. So, you know, I think both of those tips are great. We're out of time for now. Frankly, because we have masseuses coming into the door for some of the ladies, and we're going to a waterfall. And a couple people are flying out today. But I've had a super fun time just getting to know you the last few days. And hopefully you guys have enjoyed this installment of Better Stories, and you get a really good sneak peek into, you know, how the product is metamorphosing people, how the business and the community are really, you know, changing people. It's funny when you said that, you know, the two, I don't know, what'd you call Ethan and Ryan? Goober kids, you know, punk kids. Ethan's literally sitting over there, turns around and grins. Now he's almost 30. He's made hundreds of thousands of dollars. He has a team all over the world. He's lived in a customized Sprinter van in national parks all over the country, and just travels full time and earns a residual income from our business. And it was just funny. Yeah, he was a punk kid when he joined. He's 20-something years old, living with his parents. And it's just interesting how kind of things evolve and how they grow. So hopefully you guys got a lot of value out of this. Stay tuned for more. We'll see ya. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for sticking around and watching that video. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe, smash that bad dog, and digest as many of these stories as you can. Our goal is that you see yourselves inside of the stories of all these amazing people. Take inspired action. Write your own story that one day I'll feature you on this channel and you'll inspire millions of people from around the world.